Alright, traders, a very warm welcome to you all. This is Zavil from the Trade Psych, and I welcome you all to the post market analysis, outlook, and expectations for the from the market for tomorrow. Alright, so in this video we'll be discussing that how will be the markets for the coming week and for the Monday as well, and we'll also discuss some of the crucial levels where the market can find support and crucial resistances where the markets can find the supply or resistance. Right, we'll also at the end of this video we'll also discuss the OI data and we'll try to find out the bias, if there is any bias, that whether the markets are bullish, whether the markets are bearish, with the help of OI data and a complete sectoral analysis. So please stick till the last of the video. You will get to learn how to analyze the OI data. You will get to learn many price action points, and you'll get to learn that how to take out the bias from of the market for the next week. All right, so let's start the discussion. As always, like in every weekly analysis video, we discuss that are there any positive or negative news from global or domestic perspective in context of financial markets. But I don't think so this time we need a lengthy discussion, because I don't think so there is any news which can impact the market in a very negative way or in a very positive way. There is one news which it's not a news, it's a fact basically, right? So apparently now Donald Trump, the US president, has not said or has not tweeted anything as of Friday, which he is in a habit of, and on Sunday also he is in a habit, the moment when he wakes up today evening, right, in India, as per the Indian Standard Time, 7:30, 8 o'clock, when he wakes up, right? So statements from him start from his office, they start coming. Right. So at that point of time, it's really crucial to follow the news. But I don't think so. As of now, he's tweeted anything. It's just that there is a war going on, kind of war going on between the U.S. and the and Venezuela. Right. The U.S. is it's saying that it's about to attack Venezuela, and Venezuela has the support of Iran, Russia. So this is a kind of a mini war which is going on. Plus, the tensions are also rising in Russia and Ukraine. Both the countries are constantly attacking each other, where Ukraine drones are reaching very much near to the Moscow, and on the other hand, the Russian military, it's advancing, it's surrounding Ukrainian troops. So the war is also heated up in the Asian part of the globe, right? So there are a couple of things, right? So this is, but these I do not expect, and even I do not think that these things will impact the market in a very negative way, because these things have been going on from past very long time, and unless and until now, in war perspective, a nuclear attack happens, it won't affect the markets, because markets have seen the times of war from a very very long time. So unless very critical happens, unless something very catastrophic happens, I don't think so it's gonna affect the markets. But we have to be careful and we have to be cautious as traders, right? Traders and investors every time, because you may never know how sensitive, how critical the situation they might become, and any country might be forced to take a very harsh decision, right? Keeping apart that, I don't think so there is any other positive news, because many people are expecting the positive news should come from the India US trade deal perspective. But as of now, as I've been repeating in my past couple of weekly analysis videos, that news, it was just a gimmick. And our law minister, right, Piyush Goyal, he has openly said that let's accept the new world, let's accept the higher rate of tariff. It's okay, we have to adapt to the new world, but we won't be accepting any trade or any agreement. We won't be getting into an agreement with a gun pointed at our heads, right? And I think from my perspective, it makes sense, right? We are an economy of like 3.8 4 trillion dollars economy. You cannot just simply come and order us here and there. Right, so we also have our people to serve, we also have our farmers to cater, right? So I think it makes sense, it is a sensible thought, it is a sensible decision that we should not enter into any trade just for the sake of entering into a free trade agreement or bilateral trade agreement with the US. Right. So this was this. Now let's come to the real discussion, that how the markets can be from the next week and on Monday and on Friday. Basically, what happened and what has been happening from past 2 weeks. So it will be a very very detailed discussion. The video might go long till I think 35 minutes, 40 minutes. So listen, please listen carefully, and I will point out each and every factor that why the markets are seeing outflows from past 2 to 3 sessions. Right, so let's straight go to the charts and let's start discussing. Uh, all right, so first of all, let's for some time let's discuss that what has happened on Friday and what has been happening from past 2 to 3 sessions. Basically, if you see, right, on Friday, right, we opened, I think, roughly around, um, I think it was a flat opening. It was, I think, we were expecting a, I think, 20 points gap up. It happened a 14 points gap up, and the first 30 minutes, right, the markets, it rallied. The moment, I think, the second half, if you go and switch to the 30 minutes, right, the first 30-minute candlestick, this is the candlestick. The first 30 minutes candlestick was a very bullish one, and it closed above the prior 4 to 5 30 minutes candlestick. But if you switch to 1 hour candlestick, what setup we follow is, once, this is a very famous setup, and this is my favorite setup in, initiating longs or initiating shorts and the change of a trend. Right, so what the setup says is, if the on early time frame I'm talking about, if on the early time frame, 5 EMA has got 20 EMA and the prices are below both the EMAs, like this one, at this point of time, so a technical short is triggered, and unless and until the early prices, they are closing again above back the 5 EMA, because if you are constantly seeing the prices are continuously sliding with the resistance of 5 EMA early. So the setup says this, that unless and until we close back up again the 5 EMA on early time frame, we won't exit the shorts at which got triggered at this point of time. So if you see, even the morning, the 30 minutes candlestick close somewhere around here. The next 30-minute candlestick, because the algorithm, they know that they have to keep the prices in the early time frame below 5 EMA. They dumped the prices in the second 30 minutes candlestick, like this 30 minutes candlestick and next 30-minute candlestick. So that's what happened on Friday. And from, I think, if you see the top of, I think, 29th of October, from the top of 29th October, we have been constantly falling in the market. And basically, I think the first 30 minutes of the day we went up, and the rest of the day we corrected. And at last, we also saw the breakdown of 25,750, which was the level of, which was a level of technically, um, support, right? So yeah, the closing is pretty much negative. We'll definitely look at, on weekly time frame and daily time frame. But yeah, this is what has happened on Friday. And the basically, if you see on Friday, right, the close was pretty much negative, right? So let's now discuss that, what can be the next move, where can the markets move in the next phase of the market, right now. So first of all, I would like to discuss the point which I have been reiterating from past 2 to 3 in my past 2 to 3 weekly analysis videos, that how, see, if you see the markets on a broader perspective, we are very much near to the prior all-time high, from which the Nifty 50 corrected almost 15 to 20 percentage, right? So resistance like these, right, I have explained this price action multiple times in history, and I'll explain in this video once again, that if there is a, bull run going on, and suddenly, let's suppose this is the trend line, all right, let's suppose this is a very good trend line which is constantly going, and suddenly, due to any reason, due to overvaluation, this trend line breaks down, which happened here at this point of time. So this level from which it broke down, right, I'll zoom out a little bit. So this level becomes a very very important resistance, right? And whenever the market tries to cover it back up, right, this resistance, this level, it is not taken out very much easily. So there are three ways certainly that how these resistance are taken out. The one is the market should sustain, and I have explained this pattern couple of times in the past. The first way how this resistance will be taken out is, the first way is, the market sustain here for a couple of weeks, and then gives a massive breakout after the markets have, trapped each and every, whether it's a buyer, whether it's a seller. The markets have to sustain for a longer period of time near an all-time high. Then and only this breakout will be a healthy breakout, right? The second probability is, what the markets should do, it should take a good resistance, almost 2 to 3 or 4 percentage from this point, then again go back to a level which from which the breakout had happened, form a base here, and then shoot for the next rally up. So which is at the in the current point of time, which is this 25,000 level. Right. The third probability what the market can do is give a straight breakout, retrace this sharply, sustain here, and then again start the up rally. These are the three probabilities. These are the three ways that big resistances like all-time high, prior all-time high from where the markets have corrected 15 to 20 percentage a year back. That's how these resistance will be taken out. And the current scenario which I'm looking at is that the markets are planning to take resistance from this point, and they are planning to take a sharp bounce back from 25,000. So this is the probability what I'm looking at currently. So this 25, so let's now, you have understood that how this price action happens, how these big resistances they are being taken out, because and why, I'll tell you very plain price action reason or money psychology reason. See, whenever the market they take resistance from here, the next time there will be presence of unlimited sellers at this point of time. So the next time whenever the market reaches here, it encounters a good supply, a good number of sellers, and already market has rallied from the bottom so much that reaching till reaching this point the buyers are exhausted. So the moment market reaches this point, sellers get activated, and since buyers are exhausted, the market takes a beating, the market starts to go down. So now coming to the current scenario, what has happened is, see, we have this all-time high resistance from where the markets are taking a resistance, which is the zone of 26,100. And if I take you to the weekly time frame and I'll zoom in little bit, so from past 2 week we are roughly in the same range, 25,720 and 26,110, or even you don't want to do 110, 26,100. 25,700 and 26,100, this 400 point range, if at all you see on early time frame, we have been constantly going up and down in this 400 point range. So we went up, we came down, we again went up, we again came down, we went up, we again have started coming down. So now what is the probability? This is the early time frame. So there are two probabilities. Again we can go up, and if at all we break down, so this whole range we can project on the downside. All right. So these are the probabilities. So I will discuss that on early time frame, but essentially this is what's happening on the weekly time frame, that from the weekly perspective, in the last 2 weeks we have been in a strict 400 point range, and this is essentially what we discussed in our past weekly analysis videos, that if the market has to break this resistance, either it has to, after this breakout, it has to sustain for a couple of weeks and then give a massive breakout, or the third probability which we were discussing, if the markets want to break out from this level, the third probability is it takes a good resistance, 2 to 3 percentage of resistance, and then form a little base here and then go for the second bullish leg of the rally. The third is give a sharp breakout, then give us sharp retest, sustain, and then start the rally. So these are three probabilities what the markets can do. And what is currently happening is the second probability, that since we have talked that this much stronger resistances they are not taken out easily, so the markets are taking time. From past 2 weeks we are in a strict 400 point range. All right. So now how to deal further and what is the further course of action? We will further, later in this video we will look at the OI data, what is the bias after reading the OI data. So stick till the end of this video and you'll definitely get to know a lot of price action and learning points. All right. um yes. So now see the closing, if I remove each and every level, the closing, the way this weekly candlestick has closed, it is a bearish for me, and it was technically bearish for me last week also. And last week also I had talked you that near to very all-time high we are shooting star, we are forming a shooting star candle on weekly time frame. So it might happen that we might try to go up, get the liquidity, and then again come down, and exactly that has happened. But technically I did not mention that it will go up. I mentioned that if at all we breach, that's what we discussed, if at all we breach any prior weekly high and low, then we will trade aggressively in this market. So now the market has given more confirmation that we are in a short time, for a shorter period of time, in a bearish stance, because we have exactly closed, and this is a perfect reversal candle, reversal, bearish reversal hammer on the top. right? So now for the market, so prior two weekly lows is 25,700 and prior 2 weeks high is 26,100. So unless and until market goes above this level or beyond this level, you do not have to trade in the market if you are a positional player. If you want to trade positionally, the moment I will tell you on daily time frame and hourly time frame that how this bullish trade will get triggered. But the moment markets they try to cross 26,100 on the upside, aim for 26,500 and 27,000. Don't apply that much brain that you make your trading journey over complicated. Simply, if the levels are being taken out, just you know do your risk management, do your proper hedging, and initiate a bullish trade. On early time frame, I will definitely tell you that what will be some of the signs that we are again going in the bullish territory. But if it all the market breaches 25,700 and Monday first hour or first I think 2 hours markets continues to sustain below 25,700, the first level which the market will see is 25,500 and the second level which the markets will see is roughly the level of 25,000 from which this move actually started. So below, basically this is a very good support 25,500 and this is a round number psychological level also. So below 25,700 and this is also weekly 5 EMA. So technically if you see whenever the market it goes above weekly 5 EMA, it always comes near till weekly 5 EMA. So we can find a support at roughly near 25,500 and then take a pause for next week. So I will definitely tell you my projection of next week. So what I'm expecting from the next week is we might go till 50% of this prior candlestick in a liquidity trap. Then the second half of the week we might close down like this below prior weekly, right? But when this bearish scenario will be uh, invalidated, I will tell you on. Okay, let me tell you. So simple. Our theory is mark the 50% of any candlestick. The 50% of this red candlestick is simple. What is the point? This we had discussed earlier also, and still the level remains the same 25,900. If so, now on weekly time frame we have discussed the levels. From weekly perspective, I am not that much aggressive bearish bear, but yes, weakness has started to come. Why I am not that much aggressive bear? Because still we have not closed below prior weekly low. We are still from past 2 weeks we are still at the prior weekly low. So now I will shift my stance to daily time frame, and in daily time frame what I'm seeing is a very bearish scenario. So technically this was the breakout level if at all you want to talk about 25,650, from which the markets they are trying to they try to break out. And if we fall below this level 25,700, it will form a false breakout and we will aggressively fall on the downside, the same way we did it here. This was a good level, but we went slightly above than that, and then we saw a failed breakout and we saw 8 to 9 session of red candlesticks. So pretty much this also can happen like that now. And if at all you want to see that how the markets are moving currently, see the markets are moving in a very wavy pattern like A B C D E F and then again G. So this phase comes into the market, and in the past also we have seen this kind of phase. If you see these movements from 2024 Feb, it was a kind of proper wavy candlestick movement. And why does it happen? It tends towards the increase of the VIX. So this kind of wavy pattern, it indicates that in the near term future, the VIX is gonna rise, and when the VIX is gonna rise, option premiums are gonna get expensive, right? So now from the daily perspective, we have continuously now closed below prior daily lows. So early in the last weekly analysis videos we discussed that how we got trapped just because seeing only one candlestick which was closing below prior daily low, but now we have got a double confirmation of prices closing below prior daily low. So it is on the daily time frame, my scenario is sell on rise. And till what point my scenario will be sell on rise is till the 50% of this weekly range. So the 50% retracement of this weekly range is 25,900. So unless and until for the whole next week we stay below 25,900, my stance will be sell on rise. Even if we see a rise till 25,800, I will be interested more to sell here like this. right? Unless and until I close back up again 25,900 on daily closing basis. Not just going, but on daily closing basis. The daily candle should close above 25,900 in order to invalidate this bearish or sell on rise stance, right? So the moment we'll start go above 50 percentage, so we have a high probability that we might retrace back the whole 100 percentage of the weekly candlestick, right? So when you have to cut your shots, if you are short in the market, you have to cut short about 25,900 and just remain calm unless and until market takes out the level of 26,100 and starts its upward trajectory, where you have to go long about 26,100 only. Because why I'm not advising you to trade in this range, because the markets, they are constantly trapping each and every trader like this. So if you are an intraday player, we will discuss for that on hourly and 15-minute time frame. But if you are someone who is a swing or a positional player, better wait for this 400 point range to get a clarity. I will also show you one more beautiful perspective. I will clear all the drawings if at all you believe in ranges. So if you go to hourly time frame, essentially this is a range which we are stuck in. So what is the box range? Technical analysis says is, if at all any range is broken out or broken down, the length of this range, the length of this channel is equally projectable on the upside or on the downside. So if at all we break the level of 25,700 on the downside, we can essentially target 25,300. That's it, and that's also the support which we are seeing on the downside. So this is one of the analysis from the box analysis also. And let's go back to daily time frame now. On daily time frame, there has from moving average perspective, it a very interesting thing has happened is, we have officially closed below twice, we have officially closed below DMA 5 EM. So last time when this happened is, continuously for 6 to 7 sessions we kept on moving, we stayed below 5 day DMA. So as a positional player from, and a big fan of moving average perspective, a moving average theory. So now unless and until this daily candle closes back up again 5 EMA, just the way how we did it here. See, prices broke below 5 daily EMA. We closed two candlestick, and the third was good bearish, fourth was mega bearish, and sixth candle was monster bearish. And each and every candlestick it closed below daily 5 EMA. And when these shorts were booked, the moment we closed back up again, the candlestick closed back up again 5 DMA. So now you can project, unless and until these candles, the prices they close back up again 5 DMA, keep aiming for candles like this, and the 5 DMA will continuously keep moving like this. So that's how you can trade the markets. You can make your own system, you can make your own triggers, that where to initiate the short, where to initiate the long. So on daily time frame, any break below Monday, where do you want to go intraday bearish? Any break below 25,700, the first level which you will target is 25,520. Below 25,520, it's below 25,500, it will be a blood bath straight towards 25,250, because this is also, I'm looking at a good amount of support here, because the market sustained there below 25,250, 25,000. So for the next week, seeing the weekly and daily scenario, I'm expecting the fall to continue. I'm expecting a sell on rise, but till when the sell on rise scenario will stay active, unless and until we see a closing above 25,900 or 25,920. Clear? Let's go on hourly time frame and discuss. On hourly time frame, we have already discussed the hourly scenario and the range part. But on hourly time frame, generally when these down moves happen, the broader target is like this rally. If you see, the broader target is, unless and until the 5 EMA it cross over each and every moving average, and the distance between each and every moving average becomes very large, the reversal in the trend does not happen. So what I'm currently targeting is a move till this point like 25,250 and a reversal like this. So we have okay, I forgot to mention, we had two trend lines here. So on early time frame, if at all I take you to early time frame, so we have this one trend line, and the other trend line which we had is this one. And I pointed out this in my theta edge Telegram channel. I will leave the link to that Theta Edge Telegram channel in the description box below. It has a nominal joining fees. Please do check out, right? And I shared that this is the first trend line. If at all we break this trend line, we will move till the second trend line. This is the second trend line, and now if at all we break this even second trend line, then a massive retest to this bullish wave which was going on, it will happen. So if I remove each and every drawing and I just plainly simply I draw this, we are at a very uh, crucial point. If this technically, if this breakdown happens, so we can retest this trend line and then we can move very sharply on the downside like this. All right. So from the level perspective, I have told you that below which level you have to initiate any shots. Let's go to um, 15 minutes time frame and discuss that on the basis of opening, how we can trade the market. See, if at all the markets are opening a very big gap down on Monday, roughly let's suppose 100 and 150 points, we are opening roughly somewhere around here. So the markets, we can expect the markets to open roughly around near this support, which is 25,620. This will be a support. So if at all we are opening a big gap down, I will be looking on sell and rise opportunities, because there are not much shorts in the system. The shorts they are looking to get added. So if at all we are opening roughly around 80 to 100 points gap up, wait for a small retest till the prior daily close and then initiate a short here. Don't initiate a short the moment we close, because what happens is trading big gap downs is always a tricky part, is always a tricky challenge. So whenever we open a big gap down, wait for the market to give some retest, because what happens is whenever the market opens a big gap down, it makes a intraday low or daily low around 10:30 11 a.m, and then for the next 2 to 3 hours it remains sideways. And when then again at around 1:30 2 o'clock institutional time comes, then the market takes a decision whether it has to continue the sell and rise bias or whether it has to do a short covering. All right. So if at all we are opening a very big gap down, my stance will be sell on rise, but I will definitely wait for a better price to short the market. If at all we are opening a very big gap up, there will be huge volatility in the market, because there are very strong buyers which are coming, very strong sellers which are coming from the top. And if at all roughly, if the market opens roughly like at this point, so the sellers, this is a very good supply zone, so sellers will push down the price from this point, buyers will push down the price up from this point, and this volatility will go on, right? So if at all we open a roughly 50-60 points gap up, which the gift nifty is not suggesting, gift nifty is suggesting a gap down of 100 points. If at all we gap up, because we don't know that on after when the gift nifty opens at 6:30 a.m, what will happen to gift nifty, whether it will recover or whether it will go further down, we do not know. If at all we are opening a big gap up, don't trade the markets unless and until we see a daily closing above this level. All right. So I hope the scenario for Nifty is definitely clear to you guys. Let's quickly go and discuss Bank Nifty on weekly time frame. So exactly what Bank Nifty is doing is Bank Nifty, and the whole rise in the Nifty came because of Bank Nifty. So now if the Bank Nifty is going weak, I think so Nifty will also go weak. So Bank Nifty has also done the same thing what Nifty has done, but Bank Nifty has made a proper inside candle on weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame, the strategy of weekly time inside candle, the strategy of inside candle says that the mark the high and low of inside candle, and whenever it breaks, it will give a very big move. So the low of this inside candlestick is 57 600, I think so. 56 57 650. The moment we break down this 57 650, the first level which we are going to see is 57 500, because that is prior to prior week low. If this breaks down, I have already marked these levels, and these levels will act very beautifully. 57,000, 56 500, and 56,000. Till 56,000 I'm seeing a move, because this was a great support here. The markets, this was a resistance here, and once the prices, if they cross a resistance, it technically becomes a support, and vice versa, right? Let's go to daily time frame on Bank Nifty, and on Bank Nifty day, the same story repeats here. And one thing I forgot to point out on Nifty, let me go back to the weekly time frame. So technically, from a very longer perspective, or from very broader perspective, if at all you guys see, What Nifty is trying to do is, I am not sure to where to start this M from, but sorry for the green line. I'll come back to the black line. What Nifty is trying to do, it's trying to make a double top M pattern formation, and I'm not sure where to start this M from, whether we can start this M from this point or whether we can start this M from this point. But if this happens, we are looking at a very big bear rally coming ahead in next 6 months. And this I had this was on weekly time frame, but on daily time frame also we have a confirmation of a first M pattern which is forming like this. So this M pattern's neckline is almost breached. Once the level of 25700 breaks down, I think this full rally can get a retest. All right. So this was one analysis, and exactly Bank Nifty is also doing the same thing, same kind of thing, and this is a picture perfect price action to short the Bank Nifty. If at all you want to short the Bank Nifty, just wait for this neckline, which is the level of 57,500, to get broken down. The moment 57,500 broken down, initiate a short, whether it's a call sell, whether it's a future sell, hedge it with something, and you can target this whole rally in Bank Nifty. Alright, I've already given you the levels of Bank Nifty. Let's go to 15 minutes time frame and discuss on the basis of opening. Same scenario here. If at all we are opening a very big gap down, I think still prior to prior weekly low is, I think, around 50,500. So on Bank Nifty, if at all we are opening 300 to 400 points gap down, for first 15-30 minutes Bank Nifty might see a cool off. Then I think Bank Nifty will start sell and rise scenario, because Bank Nifty is much weaker than Nifty, right? If at all you're opening a very big gap up, I think still the scenario remains the same, the stance remains the same. Volatility will come, right? So unless and until Bank Nifty it closes back up again 58, or rather, I am not that much confident, but if Bank Nifty tries to go back up again 58,000, this bearish scenario can suddenly turn into bullish scenario. So be very careful. That's what I'm saying. Be very careful. And the no trading range for Bank Nifty is 57,500 and 58,000. The moment we'll start go above 58,000, small bullishness might come till 58,500. But the moment we cross 58,500, for the upper positions 59,000 and 60,000 will officially be open. All right. Now let's discuss other indexes also to take out the scenario of uh, multi sectoral, to just know that whether only Nifty is falling or other indexes are also falling. Nifty IT, it has for this week, I think we were very bullish on Nifty IT, because there is a sectoral rotation which is being happening from Bank Nifty to Nifty IT, from banking stocks to IT stocks. But strangely this week Nifty IT has shown some profit booking, but still I'm not going bearish because we have not closed below prior weekly low. So now what stance you have to keep is, keep a pause stance on Nifty IT. So if at all we cross below 35,700, keep a pause stance, and the moment again we cross the prior week high, initiate a bullish stance in Nifty IT. So for the scenario for Nifty IT is now pause, on the pause as of now. Nifty Auto, if you want to talk me if you want to talk about Nifty Auto is also forming the same pattern which Nifty is trying to form, is this one, a double top M pattern with the right shoulder as little bit weaker. So this is a kind of a confirmation that Nifty Auto will, can be sell on rise. So Nifty Auto has closed below prior weekly low, which has not happened, I think, from past 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So Nifty Auto maintain a sell on rise stance in Nifty Auto and its stocks, unless and until we close back up again 27,500. Nifty Metal, Nifty Metal is very strong, but on weekly time frame we are seeing a long tailed candlestick. So Nifty Metal should be in a pause stance unless and until this prior weekly high, which is 10,800, is taken out on the upside. All right. So Nifty Metal, I'm not going bearish. I'm still very bullish on Nifty Auto unless and until, but a pause stance can be taken here because we have seen a good profit booking from the top. But I'm not telling you to maintain a sell on rise stance on Nifty Metal. Nifty Mid Cap, is stronger than ever. But as I'm always saying, last week also I discussed that every week we are the mid cap indexes and small cap indexes, they are tried to go up, but the second half of the week it always comes down, and the breadth is worsening only, and this is forming a very major, this is becoming a very major danger for the breadth of the market and overall health, because if at all you see, there's no strength in the candlestick and we did not close our prior weekly high. So from, I think, past 2 weeks, Nifty mid cap is just being dragged on the upside. Nifty small cap, same scenario, and Nifty small cap has, see, if you see, whenever this happens, right, let me point out one thing. Whenever this happens, right, it will happen so quickly that you won't be able to, adjust yourself. This big candlestick is remaining, and this price action, whether these weak green candlestick can go on for 3 to 4 more weeks, I am not sure, but whenever this profit booking happens, it will be a very sharp one. Because these candles are not strong candles. Strong candles are like these big candlesticks, like these, but these are very weak candlestick. So maintain a pause stance, and I had a sell on rise stance, but that sell on rise stance in Nifty mid cap 150 was defied by the strong bullishness. So maintain a pause stance. I'll not at all advise to my viewers that Nifty mid cap is at buying levels. Same goes for Nifty small cap, right? So from overall perspective, if at all you see Nifty auto, Nifty IT, Nifty bank, all the three major indexes, they look good for sell on rise opportunities, which will make the Nifty 50 bearish. But the mid caps and small caps, they also have to contribute to the bearishness in order to make the Nifty fall at a good pace, right? We have done a multi-sectoral analysis. Let's go to the option chain and OI data analysis. Now, if at all you see, there is for 4th November of expiry, there is no big support till 25,000. The last big support is 25,500 and 25,700, also 81 lakh OI is there, but I don't feel it is very significant if you take the OI on the bearish side. The OI on the bearish side is 100 lakhs, but on 25,800, but whereas on the bullish side it is only 73 lakhs. So the data which is I'm seeing is very bearish. Let's see how the data fares in these bars. On Friday, the change in OI data is ultra bearish. The shorts addition is around roughly around 5.5 cr, and the bull additions, the longs additions are only 1.5 cr. So 3x more shorts have been added, with largest amount of shorts being added at 25,800. So unless and until 25,800 call has 100 points premium, so unless and until we breach 25,900 and sustain daily candlestick above it, don't expect these shorts to run away. Means don't expect the markets to be bullish. But on the downside, there is a greater risk. Why? I'll tell you. The last support for on the downside is roughly at 25,800, and also at 25,800, if you can see, the red bar is bigger than the green bar, which means that the bears are more present. If you bears are present in a larger quantities if you compare to the bulls at 25,800, but 25,700 is a good resistance, is a good support, sorry, right? So if it's a good support, how much premium its put has is 50 points. So below 25,650 it will be a bloodbath till 25,500. That's it, that's plain and simple. And if at all the market opens gap down as it's showing, so the first trapped put writers will be these people, 25,800 put writers. So what will technically happen is, if at all we are opening 100 points gap down, so for them to get out, the markets will come little bit up. Like if at all we are opening 100 points gap down, we might come above 50-60 points. These players will exit, then a sharp fall again will happen, because these are trapped now. All right, and we have significant roughly OI 42 lakh OI at 26,000 also. These are also largely trapped. All right, so this is for 4th November expiry. Let's see one for 11th November expiry, that are there any bulls trapped. There is, okay, there are no bulls trapped, because if at all you see 26,000, there are high number of call writing if you compare to put writing, so these are covered longs, right? So the moment we break below 25,700, I don't see any stop till 25,500, at least for 4th November of expiry, right? Let's go and analyze Bank Nifty's change in OI. And Bank Nifty's change in OI is very bearish again. 4 lakh addition of 4.2 lakh addition of shorts and only 96,000, roughly 1 lakh addition of shorts only, with 57,800, with 58,000 being the highest, being the biggest resistance. Where is the support for Bank Nifty? A good support. All right. Okay, November has not started. Right, right. Fine, fine. So if you technically see now, let me just do one thing. Let me go to Bank Nifty. Where is the Bank Nifty's actually November future? Let me. Okay, we don't have Nifty Bank future. So I'll what I'll do is November future I'll incorporate 58,100. That's what I was suspecting actually. Okay, fine. So because Nifty Bank does not have its weekly expiry, so everything, every OI data you see, you will see from the perspective of monthly expiry. So the future is at 58,200. That's what we are seeing roughly around here. So still Bank Nifty has much more space, much more support. So in Bank Nifty future, if 58,000 breaks down, then only panic will come. But from spot perspective, Bank Nifty looks weak. So Bank Nifty will get more weak below 57,500. That's the point where in Bank Nifty futures 58,000 will get broken down. That's why we are seeing a big green bar on 58,000, because futures are at 200 point more than 58,000. So at futures are at 58,000, right? Fine, but the change in OI is little bit worrying for me, right? The change in OI is bearish, not little bit bearish. It's good amount bearish, right? All right, traders. So now, if at all you want to analyze on a bird's eye view or from a total 360 view perspective, I see that the markets are good for sell on rise perspective, because if at all you do a multi-sectoral analysis, IT is weakening, auto is weakening, banking is weakening. Only the last two weakening segments will be remaining, the broader market, which is the mid caps and small caps. If they also start to show weakness, I don't think there is any escape from the bearishness, from the bears for Nifty 50. So the crucial levels for Nifty 50 will be 25 900 920 above. If at all a daily closing above 25 900 happens, we have to change our stance and go on a pause mode, not on a bullish mode but on a pause mode. Bullish mode will only and only come above 26 100, right? So from my perspective, if at all I analyze from a bird's eye view, the markets look good to me for a sell on rise perspective, because the OI data is also very bearish. The global sentiment is also very bearish. That's why the GIFT Nifty closed 93 points down, and the charts are also looking bearish. So if at all we breach below 25,700 and we sustain for starting Monday's first 2 hours, then I think we can short till 25,500. Expect some pause or some pullback at 25,500, because it's a psychological support level. If at all that also gets breached, then we can see the next support at 25,250 and 25,000 only. But 25,000, those who are shorted from 26,000, if the market are reaching at 26,000, please exit those shorts. You will definitely get another shorting opportunity if at all the markets they start to breach 25,000 also. But at 25,000, it will be sensible to book the shorts if you are in short from 26,000. That's it. All right, traders. I hope I have explained you the scenario for the markets for next week with multi-sectoral analysis, with OI data analysis. If you're liking the analysis we do, if you're liking the effort we do, mention us in the comments, comment in the video, share the video with your trader friends, and make this channel very popular and like this video. And if you have not subscribed the channel, do subscribe to the channel to stay alert and to stay updated with all these analysis like this. Stay safe in the market. Good afternoon.